ahead and get started here with Ryan. And Ryan, I guess it wouldn't be a Charles Schwab Challenge without this pre-tournament press conference. So what's it like being back here and playing out here at Colonial?
No, it's a very special week for me. Obviously, sleeping in my own bed 25 minutes away, and then I've been a member here since 2010. My caddy, James Edmondson, who's been a member here just as long. And, yeah, it's always, I guess we call it our fifth major. But no, I love being here, being a part of this membership, this great town, this city, playing this golf course, the history of it. And it's always a very special week with friends and family that come in town. So a little more added pressure, but, you know, one week we look forward to the most.
And speaking of that history, you being a member, how exciting is, you know, the upcoming renovations, Gil Hance involved in that? I mean, what's that like for you as a member?
Yeah, no, it is. It's actually been exciting for me personally. James and I were asked to be kind of part of the team, not so much design team, but just we had a big long lunch meeting with Gil, our GM Frank, our head of our greens committee, our tournament chairman Jim Whitten, and you know, Gil went through the whole process, the design, his ideas, went through every hole, and then we were able to walk the golf course with him, and it was kind of pretty cool for myself to walk around, you know, giving my thoughts, my ideas, what from a tour player perspective, and then James gave his insight as a good amateur player, as a member, and we were able to kind of go through each hole, tweak some things here and there, and he listened quite well. I mean, I took a lot of advice from us, I was kind of surprised, and but no, getting to know Gil was an awesome experience, and I'm excited for this club, for this membership, for what's going to happen come 23.
We'll start with Drew, right here in the center.
Drew Davison for Sartoga, and Ryan, kind of going off that, what would you tell fans? The DNA of the course will probably remain very similar, right, after the renovation? The DNA of the golf course after the renovation, how important is that to keep it similar through the whole process? And kind of what would you tell fans to expect when it's all completed for the 24 tournament?
No, when we had our first lunch meeting, James, at the beginning, flat out asked him, are you going to change these greens? Are you going to come in and do some things that we've seen you done before? And he goes, not at all. He's kind of going back to the way it was in 1941 when they had the U.S. Open. As far as tee to green, nothing's changing. Our biggest changes are going to be 8 and 13. You know, redoing number 8, pushing it up against the left ravine, and then backing 13 the way it used to play back then. So it won't look that much different, but it'll play a little differently. And then just the one thing we talked about doing is we're taking a lot of bunkers out, and by doing that, it's making the tournament play a little harder for us as tour players. We're going to play out the rough a little more, and then from the amateur standpoint, they won't be playing at a bunker as much. So your everyday amateur struggles out of fairway bunkers, and now we're going to take that away and just bring back more rough play. But overall, I mean, guys won't see hardly any as far as the shape of the holes, except for number 8. So when, you know, fans come out in 24, you may see a little darker tint on some bunkers, the type of sand, but the shape won't change. The style of the golf course will be the same. I think it's going to be a little tougher for us, which is what we're looking for. But no, it's been a great process personally, and dealing with Gil and going through his ideas, and I think this club's gonna be an awesome place for these members for sure.
Keep it right there with Drew.
Ryan, you obviously had a good showing at the Nelson. Just kind of how do you feel where your game's at coming into Colonial? And like we said, you know this course as well as anyone, but you know, it's just how do you feel going into it?
Yeah, no, it's ready. I'm excited. You know, we had 2 good rounds at San Antonio. Then we had 3 really good rounds at the Byron Nelson. And I played solid last week at the PGA. Just it's the PGA Championship, and the golf course is different. You don't play it every year. I ended up missing the cut by 1, but I didn't feel like I played that bad. And These last few days have been good prep, good work. So, yeah, I mean, knowing everything about this golf course, every break, every subtlety about it. So, for me, it's just a matter of just letting it happen, not trying to force it, pressure myself to play well. So, no, I'm excited. You know, Byron Nelson was huge for me mentally, just to finally get the result out of it. I feel like I've been playing solid all year, just it hasn't come out after 4 rounds. So, tie over 5th at Byron Nelson was a huge step for me. So, for the rest of the season. So, I'm excited about this week, obviously. But course is in perfect shape, and my game's ready for the challenge, and I'm excited for what my game is going to bring.
Any additional questions for Ryan? I'm going to go over here on the left.
Ryan, Fort Worth has taken on a new nickname, Aggieland North, with the expansion up here. I'd like to know your feelings about that. And I would also like to know, Justin Thomas is an Alabama guy, and want to know if you have any extra motivation going against the Bama people.
As far as Aggie North, I hadn't heard that, but that's great to hear. Texas A&M is special to me, obviously. But yeah, you're seeing more and more Aggies everywhere I go now, which is great. And as far as the Alabama deal, yeah, I listened to a lot of the things that happened that were said. You know, good for Jimbo, you know, for stepping up and standing up to what was said. And whatever A&M is doing as far as their recruiting, nobody's doing anything different anywhere else. I mean, I think what's going on in college football is going to end up running college football. What they're doing, this NIL and this transfer portal, I think I fear for the future of college football for sure. And, you know, I know as an Aggie, we're proud and excited of what Jimbo's been doing at Texas A&M, and maybe Saban's still bitter from getting beat last year. I don't know, but I know they ended up playing in the national championship. But yeah, he said what he said, but Jimbo was very, very strong in what he said, and I'm excited to see him stand up to him. And you know, I'm all on Jimbo's side. So, but no, Justin and I has not come across our conversations at all, but I'm sure it will one day, maybe.
We'll go to Pat on the right.
Right. Ryan, I just, in my mind, going through this, Byron Nelson, 20-something under, Southern Hills played so difficult. Now you're here. How do you guys adjust to that? How do you look at that, and what do you think the scoring might be like this week?
You know, each week you go in each week, and you know the golf course. I mean, everybody knew going into Byron Nelson it was going to be low. I mean, unfortunately, they can't really set the golf course up to play hard unless it blows 40 because the fairways are wide, big greens. I mean, they're like bowls, so you have a hard time missing the greens there. And the par fives obviously play so easy. So you know you're going to shoot low there, and then you go to the PGA, and you know you got to change your mental aspect from mental approach because you know it's going to be hard. Now it's time to how to make pars, and you know you leave PGA feeling like you got beat up for a little bit, but you know your game's in good shape. Now it's on to another golf course, and you know for me it's coming here knowing how to play this course. I can show up tomorrow without even playing, obviously, and know what to do. But it's just changing your mental approach. You get here and you do a lot of putting, a lot of chipping, just to kind of get the feel of what the grass and conditions are. And as far as scores this week, I mean, it stands up every year. I think one year I think David Toms went crazy the year he won, but I don't think the flags ever moved, and it was the softest condition we've ever played in. But I think the golf course is in such good shape right now. We had a little rain last night, but I think you're going to, with the winds coming, it's going to be a steady 15 miles an hour for the next couple of days, then heavy winds on the weekend. I wouldn't be surprised that with these winds, you could see a single-digit winner, I think. So we'll see how the next few days play out first. But this golf course stands up every year, and that's what's so great about it.
Any final questions for Ryan? Thank Thank you.
All right. Thanks.